Superstar Billy Graham was, okay, so he was kind of the start of the badass, muscle-bound bodybuilder wrestler. I mean, there might have been guys before him that were, in that area, but he was really the start of the arrogant heel who looked like $1 million. Without Billy Graham, you don't get Jesse the Body, you don't get guys like Rick Rude, Austin Idol, Hulk Hogan, a whole stream of guys. Yeah. Billy Graham also had the advantage of being able to piggyback onto the Graham family. Dr. Jerry Graham, who were the others? Luke and
Eddie and Luke, Crazy Luke, and Eddie. Eddie Graham out of Florida, Crazy Luke, and then also who you mentioned, Dr. Jerry Graham, one of who I guess is Vince McMahon's all-time favorite.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they were all that kind of crazy, wild, super badass heel group. Then you just take, Billy Graham was just this big, mean-looking, ripped and shredded, huge dude.
Television world to look at the colors I have on. Just put the camera up and down my body. These colors are in remembrance of fall. Autumn is here, and I am wearing the colors of autumn on my body. There's more colors on my body than the rainbow in the sky, Daddy. I am a reflection of perfection. The #1 selection. You got it.
They had some great matches. Could really, help get a baby face over in his territory. They put the title on him. I don't know how many ways to go, except that he was kind of an innovator of that type of heel. He looked like $1 million doing it, and people still to this day are kind of capping off of his character a little bit.
Yeah.
He really was kind of a starting point of a whole new direction in pro wrestling.
Yeah. And I think the things I could tell you about him is as a heel, first of all, he had that rap. We're going to get to that later on with some of the other people, I'm sure. But he had that rap, that way of talking. He got over with his speech.
I wore yellow tonight because I got millions of letters saying, "Superstar, would you please lay some yellow on me, Daddy? I want the world." The man's panning my body right now.
Yes, sir.
The man is panning my body right now, and the people at home are getting the thrill that they've been waiting for, seeing me and hearing my voice. Can you dig the butterfly around my neck? That is a $300 butterfly. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
He got over that great fucking body. And it wasn't that he was such a great, and I always say, and I was talked to Buddy Landell about this several times. I'd heard it before. I've known it to be true since. You could take a lot of ingredients to make a cake. You could take 5, but we'll eliminate down to 3. And we'll say, okay, it takes flour, and it takes sugar, and it takes milk, or it takes flour, eggs, and milk. You generally, someone that makes it in the wrestling business has 3 of those ingredients, if not all 3 or 4 or 5. It's a real basic formula. But Billy Graham had the ingredients of a great body and a great talk. Wasn't the greatest worker of all time, but he knew how to work like Lawler. This doesn't have to be a great, and I'm not saying anything to dig towards Lawler not being a worker, because he was a great worker in entertainment. That's what Graham did. He learned to work his gimmick. And the other thing is, and I heard this about Sylvester Stallone and Terry Funk walking through a parking lot one time back in Texas, and all the fans come running up, and Stallone thought all the fans were coming to him for Paradise Alley before production of Paradise Alley, and they thought, it was Rocky, and they thought, oh shit, here comes Sylvester Stallone. There's all to see Terry Funk. Same thing. Muscle Beach back in the day, Venice Beach, California. A young Arnold Schwarzenegger is walking with superstar Billy Graham down the beach, and all these people come running up, especially the chicks, man. And Arnold thinks, how over am I? This Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger, man. He's thinking, how over am I? All these girls coming up to see me. And guess what? They was all there talking to superstar Billy Graham. That's fucking getting over, man. Of course, he was a young, unknown Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time, but he had a greatest physique of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And then all those fucking people come and are flocking. They're flocking to see the superstar, Billy Graham, the man of the hour, the man of the power, too sweet to be sour. He had all that talk, all that walk, and had that great fucking body, had that great run. So yeah, let's finish up with number 8, Superstar Billy Graham. And he carried that Graham name, and he carried it well, and was a great champion with it. And still, we're going regional, but at that point, it was regional, and it was all up in that whole East Coast region. So yeah, let's shoot to number 7 if you don't care.
Well, you know what?
You got some things to add, please do.
I'll just throw this in there real quickly. That
please do. Throw it in as slow as you want. I don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was WWWF champion, but when he left there, he also went down to the LaBelle territory in Los Angeles and worked there. Mm-hmm. He also went to the CWA, where I believe he was the first CWA champion. And Jerry Lawler took the title off of him, if I'm not mistaken.
Your favorite, beautiful title belt.
Oh my God, that thing just, I don't want to shit on something, but I would wipe my ass with it if I owned it. It just looks like a license plate or something, like a license plate gone bad.
Well, it's made at LaGrange now here in Central Kentucky at the state penitentiary. So
yeah.
That's what they made that. I heard some used license plates.
I heard that the AWA, one of the AWA titles was actually built in a prison. That's what somebody told me one time. It might have been
stolen from a prison.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. But anyhow, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. That Graham, yeah, he was a Northeast guy, but he did his time in the regionals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Stampede. Yeah. He worked out up there a little bit. He went to down Atlanta and done some stuff. He done a lot, or Mid South or Mid Atlantic, I should say. I said WC, but yeah, he out there in California. That's where it took place with him and Arnold. I mentioned. So yeah, he before it was WWF and WWF and WWE. I know I get tired of fucking saying over and over and over and over and over, but whatever. Point is, he had been a few places and done a few things and was over with that fucking body and with that talk and his ability to get and work. Hey, that's the key to what he did. He learned to work.
So, absolutely. And there's that distinction we can make too between like a wrestler and a worker. Look, Billy Graham was such a big son of a bitch. All he had to do was throw wild overhand rights, and he could look like he was going to hurt you. He didn't have to get in and, quote unquote, be a scientific wrestler. He had power moves that would just put a hurt on
you. One more time says, Bobby, will you please show the fans your belt? And Bob Backlund says to Vince McMahon, but Vince, I like my robe. He gave the fucking belt, he took it from a man and gave it to a motherfucking child. Bob Backlund. But Vince, I like my robe. That's the biggest fucking mistake the fucking business has ever had. And you put this all over the motherfucking internet. I am still livid about it.